Hi, I'm Jill Walker-Retberg with the Elmstead Project. I'm going to show you how to enter a teaching resource into the knowledge base of electronic literature. I came across this really nice little writing exercise that Jeremy Douglas and Mark Marino developed. It's basically a version of Exquisite Corpse where students write one line of a story each, but instead of passing the paper on, they tape it to an item in the classroom which is supposed to inform the writing as well. So you get a mix of locative narrative and in-class Exquisite Corpse writing experience. So it's nicely described, it's a nice little lesson plan, would be easy to implement in your own classroom. So I figure it would be useful to share that with other teachers. What I'm going to do is go to the knowledge base here, move down to where I see the teaching resources and click add a new teaching resource. I glue in the title of the resource. This is a core information, so I've got to say what kind of teaching resource. It's a lesson plan. Which tags? Well, I cheated. I got this little text doc which I already recorded that, so I'll just glue that in and then I'll go to the next screen. Who are the authors? Well, there's Mark Marino, and I'm pretty sure that he's in the database already. Yep, so the autocomplete works. Jeremy Douglas probably is too. Jeremy, let's see, there are several Jeremys. There's Jeremy Douglas. So I select those, and because they're already in the database, we'll now be able to go back to them afterwards and see that this has been linked to their names. The organisation, well, they did it in Liz Losh's class, so I could add the organisation, but I think I won't in this case. We want the URL, of course, so put the URL here, and we need the title for the URL, and we're just going with the title of the item. Go to the next screen. A description. The way that we're thinking about the abstract or description in the knowledge base is simply just a couple of sentences, maybe 3-4 sentences, which would be the way that you describe the work to a colleague, so that that colleague could figure out whether they wanted to actually find out more about the work. So I'm going with a pretty brief description here. This is originally in English, so I just leave it at that. If this had actually been a lesson plan in Spanish or German, then I would have had an English description of it, but I would have also included the original language abstract so that people searching for works in German would be able to find that. Now let's see what's up next. This is where you would put in any creative works reference. So if you have a syllabus, for instance, you're definitely going to have different works referenced. This piece does actually reference a few works. You see these ones here. I know implementation is already in here. So I could type in implementation and see if the database recognizes it. It does. But I'm actually going to choose to leave that blank because it's not really a sustained engagement with the work, and we do primarily want those references to be for sustained longer engagement. But if you want, you could certainly add those references there. If I did add the link to implementation, for instance, then this teaching resource would show up on the page for implementation as well. Now, I think this is not quite a complete record. It probably needs a few revisions because I might consider putting in the references as well, but I'm going to leave it like this for now. Click Done. And this is what it's going to look like. Pretty good, eh?